Do, does, and did. So we use do or does or did when we want to talk about actions. So I will explain when you can use do, when you use does, and when you would use did. So do is used with the pronouns I, you, we, and they. So for example, if you're talking about yourself, if you're referring to yourself, first person, when you use I, you will say, I do the chores in the morning. I do homework before sleeping. Or if you are referring to another person, if you're using second person pronouns like you will say, you do good jobs when it comes to writing. You do not get to tell me what to do. Or when you use pronouns we and they, you will also use do. For example, we do not like to go to the movies on weekends. They do not eat vegetables. So for the next one, does. You use does with the pronouns he, she, or it. So when you're saying he, when you're using the pronoun he, you will say he does, or she does, or it does. For example, he does not like to walk far. She does exercises in the morning. It does not recognize its owner. We were talking about a dog because, as you remember, it is only used for non-humans. And lastly, did. Did is the simple past tense of do and does. So if we're talking about something that has already happened in the past, we will use did. So some examples of sentences. Like the first one, Dad does the dishes. In this case, we see that dad is equivalent to the pronoun he. And since we know that the pronoun he uses does, we will apply does in this sentence. So it will be Dad does the dishes. The same exact rule applies to the second sentence. Mom does the cooking. And in the fifth sentence, he does such interesting work. In the third sentence, we see we always do exercises together. So in this case, we are using the pronoun we. And since we use the pronoun we will apply do. We always do exercises together. But in the seventh, eighth, and ninth sentence, we see that the word did is being used, which indicates that it is done in past tense. Sally did her hair in front of the mirror. Jane did all the laundry, meaning that both Sally and Jane have already done their respective tasks. It indicates that both things were done in the past. You can use do, does, and did in questions as well. Like in the first sentence, do you like ice cream? Or in the sixth sentence, what do you want for lunch? Or in sentence number 9, why did he leave so suddenly? Notice how in sentence number 9, it is a question about why someone has left. So we're talking about something that someone has done. And that's why we say, why did he leave so suddenly? In the 10th sentence, does everyone have a dictionary? In this case, we understand that everyone. It indicates that there are more people. There's a lot of people. There's more than one person. So in this case, we will use does since it is plural form.